Hello, and welcome once again to Yoga for Kids and Their Adults. My name's Tony. I am here at Me Time LLC, a massage and yoga studio here in Troy, Alabama. This program is sponsored in part by the Charles Henderson Child Health Center. They are a pediatric physician and dental office taking care of children from birth to age 19. They fund this program through a grant that they received from the Children's Trust Fund, whose purpose is to prevent child abuse and neglect. So today, I thought, since we are now in the wonderful season of spring, that we might try a mindfulness exercise outside. Now, hoping that the weather cooperates with us today, we are going to be focusing on using all 5 of our senses as we walk outside our yard, our house, or even in a park. So if you are ready for me, let us go on an adventure. So right now I am outside of the studio building, and we have a lot of nature at the studio. So I thought that would be a great setting to use all of our senses. So right now, if you are ready to begin this adventure, let us find our breath. Deep breath in and sigh it out. And let's use our senses and be mindful. Now to begin, let's be mindful of the muscles that we use as we're walking around. Normally we walk around every day and just fling our arms and legs around like we're on autopilot. But today, I want you to feel what it's like to lift your foot, to point your toes, to put your foot down and make purchase on the ground. And just take a few steps like this and see if you can feel what it's like to take a step. And it seems a little different at first because you're thinking, well, I do this every day. What's so special about it? But the trick here is to be mindful of your experience. So, one foot in front of the other, slowly and mindfully, feel how your toes lift up, your heel comes down, and you are putting one foot in front of the other and walking around. It's a little bit of a different experience. And as you're walking, feel as the sun dances across your skin. How it's bright and it's warm and it warms your skin up anywhere it touches. Can you feel that sunshine? What about the breeze? Can you feel the breeze? I know I can feel it because not only does it hit my skin, it pushes my hair all in my face. Maybe you have a similar issue. Can you feel as the breeze is blowing? Maybe you feel the leaves as they knock into your legs, or the bits of sand or dust or dirt that hits against your ankles. Now, if you're in a safe environment to do this, you can always try to take your shoes off and experience barefoot walking. And you can even do that inside. But for now, enjoy feeling everything outside in nature. Maybe the wind brought a smell to it. Take a deep breath in. Can you smell anything? Well, here at the studio, I've got some really big rosemary plants. I'm going to walk towards them mindfully. Heel to toe, really trying to feel every aspect of my feet moving to walk. Also, try to feel how your hips balance as you walk as well. Can you feel how your balance shifts from one hip to the other as you change feet that are moving and supporting you? You might even change it up a little bit. Instead of just walking, maybe you spin around. How did that change how you feel? Did you feel as everything kind of went dizzy for a moment? Maybe you felt how your feet were digging into the sand to spin you. Maybe you can feel some sand that got in your shoe. But enjoy how the sun feels on your skin. Enjoy how the wind feels on your skin. And bring in the wonderful aromas around you. Now, if I am here on a busy street, so you might hear some traffic, and we might smell some cars too. But right up in the front, I've got rosemary. And if you've never seen fresh rosemary, it has a wonderful pungent aroma. Even just touching the leaves like this leaves the oil on your hands until you wash them. It'll slowly fade over time, but it is absolutely amazing fragrance. And one thing I learned is that rosemary has pretty purple flowers. I did not realize that they had pretty purple flowers. It's something I can see using my eyes, using my senses. I can smell the rosemary. I can see the pretty flowers. I can feel the texture. Each of these leaves has a bit of a rough texture to them, even the ones at the end. Now, if you have a garden and you can smell and touch the plants in your garden, go ahead and do that. Feel how soft some of the leaves can be, or rough as these ones are. And if it's a plant that you know is edible, you can give it a little taste. I love rosemary. Rosemary is one of my favorite herbs. And I've been growing these here for the past, 3.5 years. Now, do not stick anything in your mouth that you do not know what it is and that you do not know is safe. Parents, please watch your children. Make sure that they're not doing anything untoward. But that fresh flavor of some of your garden vegetables or garden fruits. Maybe you have a strawberry garden. My son wants to grow a pizza garden. That's something that grows all the ingredients that you need for pizza. So tomatoes, basil, oregano, thyme, onions. And all of those have such wonderful smells and flavors. And if you have any of those in your garden, you can taste them. And some leaves you can taste, like mint or basil. Some fruits you can taste, like strawberries, blueberries, peaches, apples, pears. Some of them might not quite be ready to eat yet, but your strawberries might be. Your onions might be. And your herbs definitely will be. So, now that we've smelled, we've seen, we've touched, and we've tasted, let's see if we can change things up. I see, for example, some beautiful green leaves. These are called Virginia creeper, and they can be a little bit of an irritation to your skin. So do not pick them up, do not touch them or taste them, but look at them. See how they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves? That's another thing you can do when you're practicing mindfulness. You can count things, you can look at things, you can observe things. Now, one of the things we have a lot of here are old sticks. We had a big storm come through here just a few days ago, so my yard folks hadn't quite fished out all the sticks from the property. But they do kind of give it that grayish look to it. See? The grayish sticks out there. But now we're coming up to one of my favorite parts of the property. And it's just a small green patch, lots of grass. You can probably see it in the background as I'm walking. And that has a completely different feel from the rocks that I was walking on just a moment ago and the sand. You can see how lush and green it is. You can probably identify some dandelion greens. And there's some yellow clover growing down here. And there are some other ornamental grasses as well. But these are wonderful. These are nature walks. They bring us close to nature. And you can almost hear the symphony that nature can offer you today. And you can almost hear the grass growing as the sun is beating down upon it. And you can feel this with your skin, with your feet as you take steps. You can also feel the breeze and the sun and smell the aromas. I still have rosemary on my hands. And we can pick up and maybe a little sword fighting with a stick. We can even notice, ooh, this is a unique one. Can you see the thorns on that? That's a stinging nettle. You don't really want to touch that. Don't want to get one of those thorns in your skin. That would be uncomfortable, to say the least. But look at the colors around. We saw the green in the grass, and it kind of fades to the brown of the leaves that had fallen, and the gray of the branches. See, that's using your senses, your sight. And I just found a beautiful, pretty little purple flower. Can you see it? Isn't that beautiful? Now, if we weren't paying attention to these things around us, we would have missed it. We might even have walked over it. So it's very important when you're practicing mindfulness to use all of your senses. Not just to see what's outside of you, but also to feel what's going on you and in you. Like, I'm here in the South, we have a lot of fire ants. And so you have to always watch where your feet are going to go to make sure that you're not going to step in an ant bed or an ant mound. That's one way of using your senses to be aware of outside of you. Now, if you, let's say, aren't fully aware of where your feet are going and you end up with some ant bites, you will definitely feel the reason that they're called fire ants, because each one of those little bitty ants can take a bite and make it feel like your skin is burning in that area. Hence the fire ants. You can also feel if you're hot or cold. You can feel if you're hungry or full. You can also sense if you're curious or exhausted. So, using this mindfulness, you can go on a nature walk and look above you and below you so that you can be aware of your surroundings and yourself. I hope that this has been an exciting new adventure for yoga for kids and their adults. I hope that you continue to use this mindful walking or this mindfulness practice to help you de-stress from different stressful situations. Maybe you have a test coming up, or maybe you weren't really looking forward to going to school today, or maybe mom had a deadline or dad had a deadline, you can use this mindfulness as well. So enjoy using your mindfulness. Know that you can use it anytime. You and your mind are always everywhere you go. So enjoy that, use them, practice your mindfulness, and enjoy the relaxation and the benefits that come with it. So this is Tony. I'm here at Me Time LLC, the massage and yoga studio here in Troy, Alabama. This program is sponsored in part by the Charles Henderson Child Health Center. They are a pediatric physician and dental office taking care of children from birth to age 19. They fund this program through a grant that they receive from the Children's Trust Fund, whose purpose is to prevent child abuse and neglect. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our nature walk, and I will see you again next week. Until then, be kind to yourself and others. Namaste.